Welcome to Jom Study Law YouTube channel. Hello everyone. Hope you are doing very well in your studies. Today's lessons is a reviewing past year chemistry multiple exam questions for summer 2020 part 2 of 2. Without further ado, let's get started. Question number 21. Salt S is dissolved in water and 3 tests are carried out on the solution. What is the identity of S? When iron 2 sulfate is added to sodium hydroxide, it forms a green precipitate in color and insoluble excess of sodium hydroxide. When dilute nitric acid is added to iron 2 sulfate, there will be no reaction. So the answer would be iron 2 sulfate. Question number 22. Which statement about the periodic table is correct? Group 1 is the alkaline metals. The alkaline metals are lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and francium, and etc. Whereas in group 2, there will be the alkaline earth metals. So the alkaline earth metals are beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, and barium, and radium, and etc. And group 17 will be the halogen. So the answer for this will be most metallic elements are on the left. Question number 23. The diagram show elements W, X, Y, and Z in a section of the periodic table. Let's look what is the element for X, Y, W, and Z. In this question, it will asking about which statement about the reactivity of the elements is correct. So you have X is represent sodium, Y is represent potassium, and W represent fluorine in the periodic table, and Z represent chlorine. So which statement about the reactivity of the elements is correct? So Y, which is potassium, is more reactive than sodium, and fluorine is more reactive than chlorine. Number 24. Some properties of substance are listed. Which properties are shown by transition metal? They conduct electricity? Yes. They have low densities? No. They have high melting point? Yes. And they are malleable. So they will be 1, 3, and 4. Sodium is a group 1 metal. Which property types is typical of most metal is not shown by sodium? Okay, so if you can see, these are the elements considered under group 1 metal. So sodium, the melting point is only 98 Celsius, whereas we have more than melting point than sodium, which is lithium. So which property that is typical of most metal is not shown by sodium? High melting point. For metals, iron, copper, magnesium, and Y are heated separately with their oxide. The results are shown in the tables as described. What is the order of reactivity of the metal? Least reactive first. Okay, so we have least reactive, copper, iron, Y, magnesium. So magnesium is the most reactive. Or we have copper, Y, iron, magnesium. Or we might have magnesium, iron, Y, and copper. So in this example, or in this question, it asks, what is the order of reactivity of the metal from the least reactive to the most reactive? From here, we can see from the position, we might have least reactive, we might have copper, and then followed by the iron, and then followed by the Y, and followed by the magnesium. So the answer will be A. Aluminium is extracted from bauxite by electrolysis. Which statement is correct? Put the situation whereby the anode is made from carbon. So in the extraction of aluminium from aluminium oxide, during the process of electrolysis, oxygen is formed at the anode, and this oxygen will react with the carbon anode in order to form carbon dioxide. So the answer will be carbon dioxide is produced at the anode. Some properties of aluminium are listed. Okay, aluminium is non-toxic. Aluminium has high thermal conductivity. Aluminium has excellent resistance to corrosion. Aluminium can be cast. Aluminium machine and module quickly. So from these properties listed, one is actually met to this number, which is it is resistant to corrosion. Which of these properties make aluminium suitable for making food container for chilled food product? So the answer would be number 4. It is resistant to corrosion. Number 29, water is treated at the waterworks to make it fit to drink. So what is present in the water when it leaves the waterworks? So what is actually inside the water? Basically, the answer would be chlorine compound and soluble substances. Sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, and oxide of nitrogen are common gases pollutant found in the air. Which pollutant contribute to acid rain? When sulfur dioxide and nitrogen are released to the atmosphere, it can cause acid rain. And they react with water, oxygen, and other chemicals to become sulfuric and nitric acid, respectively. So the answer for this would be, which pollutant contribute to acid rain? It would be oxide of nitrogen and sulfur dioxide. Oxide of nitrogen, such as NO and NO2, are formed in the petrol engine of cars. They are removed from the exhaust gases by reaction in the car's catalytic converter. Which row describe how oxide of nitrogen are formed in the petrol engine and a reaction that happens in the catalytic converter? So the answer for this, how oxide of nitrogen are formed? It formed by the reaction between nitrogen and oxygen from the air. Okay, so the difference between A and B is just the reaction happened in the catalytic converter. If you can see, the answer for A and B is almost the same. Reaction between nitrogen and oxygen from the air, but the chemical reactions formula is different between these two. When the nitrogen react with oxygen from the air, it will form nitrogen and carbon dioxide. So the answer of this will be number A. Zinc is used to cover iron to prevent it from rusting. Zinc is used to cover iron from rusting because zinc is more reactive than iron. So it is used to protect it from corrosion because when oxygen in the air react with the surface of zinc, a very dense and impermeable coating of zinc oxide is formed. And it is this physical barrier. This is the physical barrier that protects the zinc surface from further attack. So the answer will be zinc is more reactive than iron. Fertilizer are mixtures of different compounds used to increase the growth of crops. Which pair of substances contain the three essential elements for plant growth? Soil is a major source of nutrient needed by plants for growth, but the three main nutrients are nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So in this case, it will be potassium nitrate and, potassium chloride and ammonium phosphate. Which row describe the condition used in the manufacture of sulfuric acid by the contact process? So the answer for this would be refer to chapter catalyst reaction. Temperature high between 400 Celsius to 450 Celsius. And the catalyst used is a vanadium oxide. And where the pressure is only about 120. So the answer will be D. Petroleum is an important raw material that is separate into useful products, which terms describe petroleum and the method used to separate it. Refer to chapter distillation, whereby the petroleum is separated into useful product through mixture, fraction, and distillation method. So the answer this will be D. Which statement about propane are correct? So propane discolors bromine water. Propane is obtained by cracking and propane is a hydrocarbon. So the answer will be B. Which row describe the production of ethanol and its property? So given the answer is A. Ethanol acid is a typical carboxylic acid. Which statement about ethanol acid is correct? Ethanol refer to chapter reversible reaction. When acid react with ethanol in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid as a catalyst, they produce the ester, ethyl ethanoate, and water. So the answer would be D. And which structure represent ester made from ethanoic acid and propanol? So if you can see, this is the formula for ethanol acids, and this is a propanol. So these two chemical ethanol acid and propanol will react to become propyl ethanoate, which is ester, and plus water. You can see the combination of OH in the ethanol acid and OH in the propanol to form water, H2O. So the answer this will be A. And number 40 is, the structure of the polymer is shown. Which statement about the polymers are correct? So the polymer is formed by condensation, polymerization. So the answer for number 40 is only C. So, with that being said, I would like to wish you all the best in your study. And please subscribe to Jom Studila YouTube channel and follow me at Jom Studila Instagram. Customized notes are available at https://beacons.ai/jomstudila, or you can retrieve customized note via Jom Studila Instagram to link to the Beacon page. Thank you very much and hope to see you later.